I see you. I see.
I bring it down like.
I see you. I see.
I bring it down like.
Lofi Poli Sci, Michael can bring it down. Lofi Live. What's going on in the world today? And it's the end of season 8, my friends. Episode 56. And altogether, series-wise, episode 771. Yeah, what a journey we've been on. All the way through season 1 to now, but season 8, these last 5 months, it's been a minute. Let's recap some of the biggest of this fall season, which I always love the fall season because they're shorter, they're more fast-paced, they're fresher. It's the start of a new semester. I mean, the fall seasons they're like a breath of fresh air. And I dig them so much. So what did we do in season 8? Well, firstly, I think the intro music for season 8 is amongst my favorite ever. Like really, really. And this is the first time we also switched up the outro music. And I think it worked amazingly. Like, this season completely redid the intros and outros while also keeping them connected to the previous seasons. And the episode art, I loved a lot too. You know, the weekly color schemes and the graffiti and the lake themes. You know, I loved it. I love having different color themes every week. I really matched them with my own vibe that I was giving off. And then let's think about 5 of our favorite episodes or 5 of our favorite stories from this season. And I think one of the biggest ones, for sure, was having on one of our guests, Dr. Nina Balan. When she came onto the show and talked build environments and climate change, I mean, she was amazing. And she's very, very much an inspirational reason for why we ended up having 2 live shows this semester. So if you're listening, Dr. Balan, thank you. And you know, this season we also finally, after 2 years, have seen some action taken on Haiti, as an international peacekeeping force is going to enter the country, with Kenya leading the way. And you know, the United Nations finally got off its ass to do something. That's a big deal that happened this season. We also saw, even just this week though, but we saw it in season 8, Chile finally finished its journey on not crafting a new constitution that the citizens would support. And you know, I gotta say, on a personal side of things, I was really, really sad to see things turn out the way they did in Chile. But I'm still hoping for the future. You know, we've also seen just last week COP28 not do anything at all except for partially fulfill promises from COP27. And what else have we seen in season 8? We've seen real big action as far as BRICS. You know, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, adding 6 new members, supposed to be joining on January 1st. But we've also seen one of those countries, Argentina, get a new president who now says, I don't think so. We are out for the time being. Let's see, we've also seen the Russia-Ukraine war continue. We've also seen it be replaced as the most written about news story in international news sections. And now the Israel-Gaza news is the most covered story that we see. And this is the first time in a year and a half that the biggest focus in international news sections isn't Russia and Ukraine. That's a big deal, people. And we've also seen Sudan's military junta be challenged by paramilitary forces. And now, Sudan's in the middle of, sadly, another civil war. This is the 3rd one since Sudanese independence. But the world isn't all doom and gloom, you know? As we've also seen that Mexico's 2 leading candidates for president next year are both women, meaning Mexico could elect its first ever female president. You know, on the more local front too, we dropped Lo-Fi Study Beats Volume 3, which has been a while since Volume 2. So Volume 3 came out, which I personally loved it. But, you know, I know lo-fi music isn't for everyone, but this is my favorite Lo-Fi Study Beats we dropped yet. So I really liked it a lot. We also did, for the first time ever this season, 2 live shows at University New Orleans. And this is the 3rd year that we've done a live show in the fall season, but 2 shows, we've never done that. And my classes were directly involved in putting them on this time. Many of them were even on stage doing their own segments. It was amazing. In our first show, we had about 80 people show up. Our second one, we had about 100 people show up. And we had an awesome meet and greet afterward. We just got to talk to people and hang out. And we even had them catered by UNO SGA. So shout outs to y'all, SGA, for picking up the tab. Much love on that. In short, season 8, this past season, these past 56 episodes, was filled with more new things than I think any other season, maybe. Season 8, I think it's going to go down as one of my favorites, for sure. But what about season 9, eh? It starts next week. And let's firstly say we are switching up to a 2-episode-a-week format, Mondays and Fridays. And Mondays, though, they will be a little bit longer than usual, as we're combining a few things. This is the first season that we're not going to have a Tuesday's Top 10. But they'll be in Monday's episodes as a top 5. So instead of Mondays being like a 5-minute show with just Lo-Fi Global News, we're going to do about a 10 to 15-minute show with 3 segments in it. We're going to do 1, Lo-Fi Global News, 2, Top 5s, and 3, Lo-Fi Global Trivia. So every Monday we'll have 5 news stories, a top 5 list, and 5 global trivia questions, which I'll give the answers to on the following Monday's episode. And then so this is really kind of a combination of like throwing it back to season 5's long-form episodes, but way shorter. Those episodes were like 35, 45, 50 minutes. These, for next season, they're only going to be like 10 to 15 minutes. So that's Mondays. And then Fridays, we're not bringing back Good News Fridays, although I miss Good News Fridays a lot. One day we'll bring it back. But Fridays are going to be its own show with its own completely different feel. It'll be the U.S. President Campaign Podcast, though I'm going to name it something way better than that, hopefully. But Fridays will be short-form episodes, 5-10 minutes, focusing exclusively on the U.S. president race. Following the polls, criticizing the polls, for sure. Looking at the primary races for the Republican Party that starts officially next month in January. The 15th is the first primary out there in Iowa. And we'll be following President Biden's campaign and see what he's doing. But I think a lot of what we'll cover on these episodes is quick headlines and then polling and what we can really say about the state of the race at that given moment. And look, we've never focused on U.S. politics like this before. For an entire episode, never. But this is different. And it's time we look at ourselves and start thinking. It's time for Lofi Poli Sci to get in the mix of it all and see what's what with what in American politics. But in season 9, we may also, though I'm not quite sure yet, though we'll I have to decide very, very soon, we may be having another live show this spring. We'll see. But also, I really want to try to get on more guests, more people that we've never had on before. And really, I'm thinking about getting former students and current students to do like quick guest spots on the episodes to just like ask a question or talk about a different question. But we'll see how that goes. And my friends, that's that. That's a wrap on season 8. And that's also what's to come in season 9. What more to say other than love you, Lo-Fi. See you in season 9.
I see.
I bring it down like.
Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Pickering, signing off.